Showing your child respect. In this case, with the autocratic, that parent demanded respect but showed no respect for the child. And with the permissive, the child showed no respect for the adult. Okay? Showing another part of this course, in this case, with the understanding why demanded respect but showed no respect for the child. Understand why they misbehave. Permissive, we're better able child to know how to react when they do it. Okay. This course believes that children misbehave. Another part of this course is understanding why children misbehave, or emotional why they misbehave once in a while. Better able, but to know how to react when they do it. Children misbehave because believes that children misbehave in that family, in that classroom, in that bunk, not because they're a bad seed or they have some chromosomal problem. They don't feel that they can disturbance. That is the case once in a while behavior. But in the majority of cases, negative behavior. Children misbehave because at that moment, in that family, in Renee, you want to say something? Wherever they are, you mean like they are discouraged. They don't feel that they can be noticed. Everything can be going rather quietly. So they choose to do negative behavior. The phone rings and everybody goes nuts. Okay. Renee, you want to say something? Yes, I had experience with my children where the minute by phone rings in the household, placed an advertisement for everything can be going rather quietly. Babysitters were calling to the phone rings and everybody goes nuts. And the children were such monsters in the background that before I could even get their name and number, the people were hanging up because they didn't want to come to the house. An advertisement with these screaming out of hand children. Babysitters were calling to. That's an example of them feeling that the children, when you answer pick up the phone, you're taking attention away from them. They may be busy, the house is quiet, they didn't want to come to the house. It's like a magnet. They come running because they know that's a good time to get a negative reaction from you. That's an example of they realize feeling that you're attention is elsewhere. Pick up the phone, you're taking attention away from them. They may be busy, the house is quiet. When phone rings, kids come into like a magnet. They come running because they know that's a good time to get a negative reaction play. They realize the play is ongoing. The family's already there. Is elsewhere to their other to get it back. Brothers and sisters, if there are other brothers and sisters, are already there, and they've got to kind of kids come into their way into the action, so that they can feel like they have a starring role in this play. So in order to feel like ongoing, the family's already like they're a star. If they don't feel anybody will notice them. They don't have any role. Are already there. And they've got to kind of ad-lib their way to the action, so that they can feel like they have a starring role in this play. So you may have a family where, so in order to feel like they belong, in order to feel like they're a star, if they don't feel anybody will notice them, they don't have any role by doing something positive. Was the first grandchild to get first male into that starring role, get noticed. Everybody adored him. So you may have a family where almost oldest child came along, the apple of everybody's eye. Had I not known this stuff, I could have moved around and said, I can't with that. Was the first grandchild, was the first male in two generations. He may have believed everybody adored him, possibly, and my younger son with that, almost 3 years younger, 2.5 years. He would have tried to be the best, came along, and we had I not known this stuff, villain could have looked around and said, wow, I can't compete with that. And he did try, actually. Only because he was young. Tantrums, he tried. But all kinds of things, and luckily I knew the skills in this course I was able with that, and so he would have tried to be the best at being the worst. Not let him get away with that. Have a role as a villain in the play. I remember him at the bottom of the stairs, and he did try actually. He tried having tantrums. I came up with the laundry basket and wanted to come down. Luckily I knew the skills in this course I was able to, and I said to him, plug those in, and I'll talk to you when you come up. Not let him get away with that like that, and patiently. I remember him at the bottom of the stairs, soothe him, we're doing laundry, draw the reactions of the stairs. I came up with my laundry basket and had him come down and carry him up because he saw it didn't impress me. Finally, and I said to him, the tantrums, I'll talk to you when he comes up, or a few more like that. Then I decided because he saw I would yell at him, give in to him, soothe him. One of the things you learn is draw the reactions. What we're doing here is just very quickly going through, because he saw it didn't impress me, finally ideas in his course, which we'll be doing, and the tantrums subsided. There were a few more, but they subsided because he saw when your kids misbehave, we're now on number 3. One of the things you learn is when your kids misbehave, what we're doing here is just very quickly going through tantrum, which I just the skills in this course, and the or whining, or crying, doing or acting shy, or acting sensitive. When your kids misbehave, we're now on number 3. When your kids misbehave, they often show an emotion. Decide what emotion to show you. Tantrum, which I just mentioned, okay, or whining, or crying, and if you know that, or acting shy, you're better able to not react to it, but rather act. Your kids, using the skills in the decide what emotion you react. For example, if they whine, decide what emotion to show you. Tend to end up whining back. Okay. If they're crying, and if you know that, they may say no at first. You're better able, but then after to not react to it, rather act. They give in, using the skills in this course. If you understand, for example, if they whine, decide this is the academy whining back on behalf of the child. If they're crying, actually, and to give in, they may say no at first. But then after the child cries, and if you realize that, then you don't take it as personally. Okay. Personally, you understand. You don't know what to do. But the child decides this is an academy. You know what to do. You know what action to do on your behalf. Actually, then you can do it, and they see the child at work when I whine. Do that. And if you realize that, then you don't take it as personal. I'll be glad to answer you when you ask me nicely. And you don't know what to do. And then the father continues to react. If you know what to do, you know what action to do, including the child in conversation or whatever, but not doing what the child is demanding. Whine until the child comes out with a more pleasant voice and says, I'll be glad to answer you when you ask me nicely. If you can help, and then help father, maybe you can't. Whatever you apologetically say, I can't. Okay, maybe even including the child in conversation or whatever, but not that's what doing what the child was demanding until the child comes out with a more pleasant voice. This is a big relief because a lot of the frustration, if you can help that you can't show a lot of anger that I can't. Is I have not knowing what to do. That's what you do here. Once you know what to do, things are a lot more pleasant in your house. This is a big relief. Parents also, adults also decide what emotion to show. We also are in control of our emotions. Parents show. A lot of example of that is you could be screaming out of not knowing what to do, thinking, my child made me mad. Once you know what to do, and yet the phone rings and things are a lot more pleasant in your house. Parents also, adults on and off those emotions, we also are in control of our emotions. In fact, crying in this course, an example of that is you could be screaming, and you know when your kids cry, my child made me get what they want. And yet the phone rings and you answer it, and you look like you could. They are doing an academy. You're able to turn on and off so are we. Those emotions just like your kids. We get mad. Crying in this course, we can also decide, and you know when your kids cry, and you give us what they want, the ways to act down here. Very quickly tonight. They are doing an academy. You can decide, and our kids so are we. When we act differently, we get mad at them. And the way we can also decide is by changing. And the whole rest of the course will teach you how to act. Okay. And we'll discuss another part of this course, something called the good parent versus the responsible parent. This course says don't be a good parent and a responsible parent. And to act the things it describes under the good parent aren't so the way you get them to act differently is by changing. One characteristic of a good parent is that a good parent, another part of this course, something called the good parent versus the responsible parent. Has unrealistic standards. This course says don't be a good parent, be a responsible parent. And the child feels the things it describes under the good parent aren't so love me until I'm perfect. One characteristic of a good parent, the child feels that way, is that a good parent then probably won't be perfectionist because he understands on some level for the child that humans cannot be perfect, and the child feels, and so he won't love you. He usually gets worse when he feels that you're nagging him and demanding that he be perfect. Then he probably mold him into this perfect being because he understands on some level she'll only love me and he'll only love me when I have every hair in place and I'm the most popular and I get all A's. When he feels that you're, since the child realizes him and demanding that he can never be that kind of mold him into this perfect being. I'm not even going to try. Feels like. And this course actually, he'll only love me when I have every hair in place and I'm the most popular and I ever get all A's. And since the child realizes, I know that when I get criticized, that he can never be that. I don't like the person who's criticizing me, and I'm not even going to try. And I feel like giving up. And this course actually, what replaces criticism in this course is something called I'm it's way down there that ever constructive. You definitely do have to let them know. I know that when I get criticized wrong. But there's a way to do it who's criticizing me, attacking and criticizing. And I feel like giving up. There's a positive way to do it. What replaces criticism in this course is something called going back to the good parent. Get to it in a little while. One characteristic definitely do have to let them know when they're doing something wrong. The responsible parent, on the other hand, but there's a way to do it that's not attacking and criticizing. Another characteristic of some good parents is that going back to the good parent, other people think. One characteristic of some good parents that your child dressed the responsible parent. On the other hand, the first time she dressed herself, she's got her shirts on backwards. She's 2.5 years old. Another characteristic of you're worried what will the nursery school teacher think is that they worry about what other people think. Saying to her, okay, how you dressed yourself? Did your child dress? You say dressed herself. Shirts on backwards. It's her first time she dressed herself, which makes her probably choose not to try 2.5 years old. And you're worried about what the neighbor thinks, or what your friend down the block thinks, and how you dress yourself, or something like that. You say your shirt's on back. Doesn't worry about what other people think at the expense. Which make her probably choose not to try to dress herself after that, because you're worried about what the teacher thinks, what the neighbor thinks. You probably won't know the teacher, your friend down the block, but you'll know your child, and a responsible parent, a grown child, to come visit you willingly and bring their grandchildren at the expense of the relationship. Okay. It's more important for them to feel independent. You probably won't know they're capable than it is for them to teach like they walked out or sex friend down the block. But you'll know your child, and you have to get that your grown child to come visit you willingly and bring their grandchildren. It's a reflection on me. Okay. Another aspect for them to feel independent is a good parent is often than it is for them to look like they walked out of sex with them. It doesn't let the child have any responsibility. Okay, remember we talked about up here, you have to work on letting go of the autocratic and permissive. The autocratic another aspect of the good parent the child all the responsibility is often takes all the responsibility. It doesn't let the child be a permissive parent who would, remember what we talked about up here, would take all responsibility. The good parent is autocratic and the permissive. Cutting the child's meat, even the autocratic parent still dressing him, still doing his hair, still picking out his clothes, parent takes all the responsibility on their shoulders. So that would be a permissive parent who would give the child responsibility, take all responsibility. The good parent is still cutting the child's meat, even though the child is 10 years old. You always have to read your still dressing him, still doing his hair, still picking out his clothes, still seasoning his tea back. Okay. You cannot build character and courage by taking away man's initiative and independence. You cannot help men permanently by doing for them what they could. You always have to read your tea back. I'm going to read. That was from Abraham Lincoln. Let's go for his tea back. You cannot build character and courage by taking away man's initiative and independence. One more characteristic of a good parent is a good parent is often a doormat. By doing for them what they could, once again, that would be the permissive parent. And that was Abraham Lincoln. Good parent took this course is afraid to say no to the child. He knew it about or maybe said no, but then the child. Okay. One more characteristic of a good parent is a good parent is often a doormat. The doormat, once again, that would be the permissive parent. No, you can't do that. The child will whine, is afraid to say no to the child. The child will whine or cry, or maybe says no, but then the doormat will say, wear her down very quickly. Lots of times a good parent will say, the responsible parent, the doormat says no when there's a reason. No, you can't do that. The child will whine, going back to the emotion limits. That's how child will whine or cry, and after a few minutes, the doormat will say, oh, the only reason is because I'm your mother, or because I said so. Responsible parents, those are reasons. Says no when there's a reason. You have a good reason. If it is important, gives the child limits, then say no. Children need limits. That's how children know that you otherwise, what we're going to do in this course is cut out. The only reason is because I'm your mother. Leave the no's for because I said so. Running in the street, doing drugs. If you have a good reason, if it falling off the table, things like that, say no. And superficial things like otherwise, what we're going to do in this course is cut out lots of other little things that parents often say no to. We're going to get into the food issue, the bedtime, lots of things where parents falling off the table, things like that. You realize they don't have a reason. The superficial things, just like they want to be the boss or something. Your kids will listen if they're. If everything is no, your kids will not listen. Parents often say no to. We're going to get into the food issue, the bedtime. Lots of things where parents find themselves saying no. Okay, the next concept is problem ownership. It's just they want to be the boss. Your kids will listen if they're. If everything is no, your parents take on their shoulder. If there are problems and they realize there's a good reason there, they will listen. In this case, we'll talk about problems that belong to their children. When your child, the next concept is problem ownership. The other parent, a grandparent, a babysitter, a teacher, her homework. Lots of times parents take on their shoulders herself, a friend, a brother or sister, other people. Unless it's dangerous, problems that belong to their children. When your child automatically takes the problem on your shoulders. The other parent, a grandparent, automatically takes the problem on your shoulders. A teacher, you're letting the child work. You don't think the child is yourself, a friend, a brother or sister. Unless it's dangerous. Okay. And you're also making yourself crazy. Don't automatically take the problem with your own problem. By automatically taking the problem with your child has a problem with a brother, letting the child know you don't think the child is capable of solving. As long as it's not dangerous, as long as there's no sharp edges, and you're also making yourself crazy because you have enough trouble with your own problem. By you intervening and refereeing, let's say your child has a problem with a brother or sister, make that problem last longer. They're fighting. Because they often, as long as it's not dangerous, as long as there's no sharp edges, they're not using a pencil or something, okay? That problem is between them. This is something that's really hard and refereeing. You actually make go along with it once they see how it works. Because they often, siblings more actually, and a lot of things you're going to learn tonight and through the course of the course. In this case, this is something that's really hard for people to fighting louder and harder, go along with it once they see how it works. Kids, and whatever we're working on more, and they do it, and a lot of they intensify what they're doing and through the course of the course. You can hear me. Kids, she must not have known. Kids end up, if you can stick it out, fighting louder, you can walk in and say, oh, I have to, trying to get you to go back to your old way of refereeing. Because I'm whatever we're working on, of course, they don't tell them to stop fighting. They intensify what they're doing. Believe it or not, what'll happen is, she must not have known that's frequent and less intense. After they get, you can stick it out. Like less frequent, you can walk in and say, oh, I have to work out. I have to take that pencil, start to enjoy each other because I'm afraid somebody will get hurt. Don't tell them to stop fighting. We go to Omaha, Nebraska. Believe it or not, what'll happen is drive. And we've been doing this since our kids were baby tense. After they're now 14 and 17. Like less frequent. The only way we can do it is by ignoring their fighting. And they'll start to enjoy it. It's amazing because 5 minutes after we would have gotten involved, we go to Omaha, Nebraska with my parents every summer, and we drive. We've been doing this since our kids were. Had I gotten involved, had I gotten mad at them or tried to separate them, we can do it. Suggestions about what to do. They're fighting. And it's amazing. One says front, 5 minutes after I would have gotten involved. The one who's the victim isn't mad at the aggressor anymore. I'm still in the front, kind of sitting there feeling mad. Had I gotten involved, and they totally mad at them, or tried to separate them, or made suggestions about what to do. So that's one example of the front and the back and all that. They've all forgotten. The one who's the victim isn't mad at the aggressor anymore. I'm still in the front, kind of sitting there. If they are fighting the aggressor, we have to drive to the hospital. And they've totally forgotten having a ball together. Believe it or not, that doesn't happen. It happens much less often once they. So that's one example of problem ownership. Let your kids own their own problem. You own the problem unless it's dangerous. When somebody's if they are fighting to the point where you have to drive to the hospital to work, but believe it or not, that doesn't happen. A friend is bothering you less often. Your mother-in-law is not important to you. Your boss. Okay? Then you own the problem. You own the problem. You have to take action. When somebody is bothering you, for the sake of this course, you're having a problem when your child bothers you. If your child is bothering you, okay, let's say you're sitting quietly reading a book, some child walks in and turns on the TV full blast. Okay? Then you own the problem. That is your problem because the child bothers you. Take action. Okay, and then you for the sake of this course, we'll talk about what to do child bothers when we get down to the iMessages. Okay, let's say you're sitting, what I said before, quietly reading a book, child walks in